And to make sure that we understand that Woolworths is really on our side, they've also decided to cancel Australia Day. So they will sell no Australia Day products or, products like coffee mugs with Australian flags on, whatever. They're not going to do that this year because the demand is dropping. We've noticed the demand is declining. So instead of putting it on smaller amounts in the shops, we're just going to drop the lot. We're not doing Australia anymore. There's a war on Australia Day, isn't there, James?
Well, absolutely. And, they said, because demand has declined, they added, quote, there's also a broader discussion on what Australia Day means to different communities. In other words, it's got nothing to do with declining demand and everything to do with Woolworths trying to make a progressive left statement, which shows they've learned nothing from the October referendum when Australians voted against political correctness and identity politics and against corporations continually scolding us for having the wrong ideas. We had banks, we had sporting organisations, we had corporations telling us what we had to do. We rejected that. We said, no, we don't want to be preached at when we're trying to buy 2 litres of milk. And here are Woolies effectively preaching at us about the meaning of our national day. Good reason to go to Coles instead of Woolies this year.
No, not really. I mean, they were both preaching at us during the Voice referendum as well. Remember that you're just grabbing some groceries and on your overheads, the music's interrupted to be like, now, everyone vote yes, won't you? I mean, these guys, all you have to do to figure out the state of play with this duopoly that you talked about is follow the money. Who are the 2 biggest shareholders of Woolworths? BlackRock and Vanguard. And if you know anything about those guys, you know who's running the world. Who are the 2 biggest shareholders of Coles, Vanguard and Wesfarmers? Wesfarmers, the same Wesfarmers who donated $2 million to the Yes campaign. It is all very simple. These powerful corporations, they're not just selling you groceries at a ridiculous price. They are also very much involved in pushing these social agendas that everyday Australians are not remotely interested in. We want to buy Australia Day stuff. We want to celebrate our national holiday. We want to celebrate the birth of modern day Australia. But these guys, slowly but surely, and it's such a basic play by the left. All you have to do these days is get something to be seen as controversial. Just keep saying how controversial it is. And then massive corporates and smaller businesses have an excuse to be like, well, we don't want to be controversial, so we just won't touch it at all.
Liz, I support what you're saying. There's a wonderful word which has been coined by an American writer, controligarchs. These are the controligarchs who run these key companies who make the big decisions. They sit on boards. They're the managerial class. They actually move freely sometimes between the private world and the public sector. They actually make the decisions. I think controligarchs is a wonderful word. He's written a book, which I'm reading at the moment, called Controligarchs. So there you are. I'm not getting any money for this, but I'm telling you, look for the book called Controligarchs. Have a look it up on the web. It will tell you the kind of strings being pulled that Liz was just talking about.
And the moral of the story is shop at farmers markets. If you want to support the people that feed us, food doesn't come from the supermarket. It comes from farmers. It comes out of the ground. We'd be dead without them. Seriously, I wish that we could stage some kind of movement where everyone was just like, sod you lot. A, you're ripping us off. B, I don't like your massive profits and what you're actually doing to our nation. We're going to the farmers markets, and that's how we know our money is going where it's been earned and deserved.
Well, I don't know how much farmers are getting per kilo of produce, but I've worked out exactly how many trolleys I get per organ I sell in order to be able to afford my groceries.